everyone. Welcome back to our live Yellow Couch chat session. I know you're used to seeing these faces in a different format, but today we've decided to go live because we miss our live audience. So karibuni sana. We meet here every Friday to talk about different issues happening in the workplace, life, and everything in between. And in today's episode, on this Yellow Couch, we have a very special guest coming all the way from Stanbic Bank Tanzania. And she's none other than the head of human capital at Stanbic Bank, Miss Eutropia Vegula. She's here to talk to us about how young people can achieve career success at a young age when they're still young people and in their youth. So we have a lot to talk about, a lot to share. I know as you join us live, you also have some questions. This is your opportunity face-to-face virtually with the head of human resource, head of human capital from Stanbic Tanzania. You can shoot questions at her and we'll be happy to take your questions and share and discuss this topic as we move along. So karibuni sana, my name is Nancy, you're used to seeing my face, but I'm gonna let Eutropia introduce herself and talk a little bit about herself before we start, as we allow more people to join in our live session.
Okay, great. Thanks, Nancy and Team Empower. Thanks for having me here. I appreciate the opportunity to engage yourself and everybody who is watching us live. So, my name, you've said it.
Yes.
I am Mrs. Eutropia Vegula. Now that we're speaking about the career world, so briefly about me and my career. I did Bachelor of Science with Education in school, biology and chemistry, and I'm mentioning that degree qualification I did because I'm actually in human resources today, so you may have a number of questions because of that. Yeah. So after my graduation, I joined Unilever Tanzania Limited, where I worked for about a year being trained on the job into the human resources, human capital practitioning. And then after that 1 year, I started being kind of responsible for a smaller organization that was being established in Tanzania, as then in charge of human resources unit. And then after 4 years, I moved to Citibank, where I was the head of human resources department. And after another 4 years, I left Citibank again. I went to Barclays, now called APSA. And in there, I also was the head of human resources. And after 7 years in Barclays, I left to join Stanbic Bank Tanzania. And now I'm in Stanbic. This is my 5th year. So about my career, that's me. I am a mother of 3 children. 2 beautiful girls and 1 boy.
Nice. Taking you back to your career journey, when you first started, your degree and what you started working on professionally are 2 different things. Was this something you had planned or just something you landed on and you enjoyed it and decided to just roll with it?
Yeah, so actually what happened with me is that I wanted to be a doctor.
Dreams are valid.
Yeah, that was my career dream since childhood. I wanted to be a doctor. And then I went to my A-levels. I didn't do well in my Form 6. I had a Division 3 in my PCB A-level. And at that point in time, I reflected and said, okay, so do I want to go and reset so that I pursue my doctorate degree? Do I really like to be a doctor? I had a lot of questions, and I felt like maybe it wasn't quite serious in me as a career into being a doctor. I liked sciences. I'm kind of in nature sometimes, should I call it competitive?
Yeah.
So because people felt science subjects are difficult, I wanted to do sciences. And especially when they said ladies can't do it.
Yes, absolutely.
I just wanted to ensure that I did it. Yeah, so then I had a moment of reflection and checking whether I really wanted to be a doctor or I can consider something else.
Yes.
While thinking of that, an opportunity unveiled itself, and I had an opportunity to join University of Dar es Salaam to do that Bachelor of Science in Education, Biology and Chemistry. I said, let me embrace it. And honestly, I wasn't very sure of what would happen. I hadn't thought that I wanted to be a teacher for my career. Yeah, so while pursuing my degree, then I noted I was doing a lot of things with people, and I had this passion generating me in terms of working with people, seeing people succeed in whatever they're doing, seeing people's issues being sorted. So I started doing some of the optional courses into education, into psychology and the likes. And then when an opportunity again presented itself at a point when I was about to graduate from the University of Islam, it was a very comprehensive setup of an interview where you could really come out into who you are, kind of a resource center setup. And we had this good question being asked, what would you like to do? So I used that opportunity to say I wanted to do human resources. And I got this employer.
So you already had started thinking about HR and looking at your nature, your personality, and how you were with people.
Yes.
So say, I think this is where I want to venture in.
Yes, I also started taking some optional courses into it while at the university. So I somehow prepared for this opportunity, and when it came, I moved into human resources. So really, this is not something I thought of. Sometimes fate takes you somewhere.
Absolutely.
And you check, your inner being and what you love doing, what you enjoy doing, and enjoy the opportunity.
And you
connect
adjust,
the fate and the opportunity and
adjust and move on. This is really nice. I wanted to say, if you're just joining in right now, today we are with Miss Eutropia Vegula. She is Head Human Capital from Stanbic Bank, and she's here to talk to us about how you can achieve career success in your youth. So while at a very young age, can you achieve career success? Can you become successful in your career? So she's here to share with us some tips, and in the process, she's also reflecting on her own story. She'll be sharing her experience, growing into her career and where she's at today. And at this point, I've also invited you to share some questions, anything you have on your mind, any views or reflections on the topic and the discussion as it's moving along. Feel free to drop them on the comment box and we will share and discuss here. So now we're moving into another question. We talk of career success. What does it really mean to be successful career-wise? Is it about the position? Is it about money? Is it about status? What does it mean to be successful career-wise? To you, for example.
Yeah, thanks Nancy, and thanks for the final comment that's to me.
Yeah.
Because when you speak of career success, it's quite broad, and different people may look at it differently, and may consider career success as different in different perspectives.
Yeah.
For me, thinking of career success, and probably this will be shared by a number of people too, I'll be thinking of what one may choose to do for a living, whatever they may choose to do for a living, but then for it to be a career success, it should also include whatever they choose to do for a living should allow them to maximize on their potentials, should allow them to put into use their maximum potentials, should also make it possible for them to meet their financial needs. But it should be something one enjoys doing, because that's all about life. And therefore it means one would be happy, would be peaceful, and it should contribute to also bring about that ambience of calmness, peace and happiness with those around him or her. So it could be the family, the family or friends or whoever who is closer. I would look at that as successful career.
Do you think age is like a factor for determining career success? Is it that people who have achieved career success in their career are older, or what's your take on it?
In my view and the personal definition of what career success would mean, it can't be limited by age. It can't be limited by age. It means whatever age I'm able to get something that I choose to do for a living. I can get to do something that I enjoy. I can get to maximize and put into use all my potentials. I can get to do something that keeps me happy. I enjoy it, and of course create a happy and peaceful environment around me with people who I live with or work with. So age wouldn't be so much a limit in that perspective. But something that is obvious, and if you're to be honest, with age, there's some level of energy that gets reduced over time. So it means while you're young, it's actually an opportunity for you to also maximize on the energy levels, not only the potentials, but the energy levels to do at most of what you want to pursue. And enjoy doing whatever you're doing.
But Eutropia, here's the thing. I mean, looking at young people today, it's like if we're never satisfied. We are always after the next competitive job, after the next, competitive salary, the best looking office. Now, is success a point of relaxation, or saying, this is it, I am doing no more, I've achieved, and I'm settling here? Or does success also mean you wanting more and more and more? Because if you think of success, it's like you've accomplished, you've reached somewhere that you've always wanted to be, and you're there. So, but looking at it today, I say, for example, with millennials, people like I want the next job, the bigger title, the bigger role. Will there ever be a point of success in that?
Okay. So I think it depends a lot on different perspectives, and I like it because you position it as, in my view, in my perspective.
Yes.
I would look at success to be, as an individual, you need to have a vision. You need to have a vision. You need to think of what you want to achieve in life. And most of the times, for a successful career, for kind of sustainable happiness and joy, whatever you choose to do, if it gets to impact other people positively, then there's that feeling that is sustainable and remains in you. And I think that's where the point of success, in my view, comes in, and that's how I would define it. If success is to be defined as, running for a bigger title, running for a bigger salary, running for a bigger income, okay, it's one of the ingredients that will be incorporated within what most people would consider a successful career and success in career life. But it has to be looked at in a very, very careful way, if I can call it that way. Because I've seen people who will be running for a bigger job, and they end up rushing quickly. They get a job today, they get a certain role title today. After 6 months, they're looking for another one. Even before they understand this same role that they're doing, even before they contribute and add value to this role and to the people they're serving, they jump, should I call it hopping, one role to the other. And then you may see, I've seen it severally in the interview from even experience, where you interview somebody, they are very senior in whatever role they are doing, but you interview this person, you see, it's like you can't match the title and the person.
But what if they're looking for that, for something that fits best with them? What if it's a process of them searching? I mean, as I would understand as an HR, having to lose someone whom you've already invested resources in after 3 or 6 months, after you've given them the opportunity, is really frustrating. But if you look at it from this person's perspective, what if that is their way of trying to look for what's really best for them? And is it helpful to them?
I would say it's yes and no. It will depend on the person and whatever they are doing. If it happens severally, even when, now again from experience, even when I get a CV on my table and I look at the CV, 6 months the person is hopping and jumping, it's not attractive by itself. If somebody is going that way because they are looking for whatever that they will be comfortable with, and it happens once or twice, it can be accommodated. So what I can advise for a young talent, growing talent, what I can advise is you can give yourself a chance, once or twice. It means before you make a third and a fourth move, try and be very clear of the direction you want to take. Because even when I'm hiring at a senior level, I also want to get somebody who is clear on what they want to do in their life, so that they can contribute into their job and into the clients that they're serving. Otherwise, if somebody continues to hope for the next 10 years, after 6 months, 1 year, I don't know where they're going. There's no growth in this person. There's a lot of things that you pick in terms of personal growth and being able to manage at a senior level being able to manage larger responsibilities, wider resources. People acquire it when they're going through certain levels and certain roles, when they're working smart and hard to contribute into the role and save their clientele at that point in time. If they keep jumping, they usually leave it. And I'm telling you, if I invite them and I chat with the person, I can easily pick that this person, they've just been hopping and jumping and grades are growing because of that. And there's really no substance in them.
Absolutely. And if I were to take from what you're saying, I think at least for you to start to realize or to achieve career success, you need to give yourself room to grow in a certain role or in a certain position or environment. If you don't give yourself the opportunity to grow, mature, get nurtured, support from people, then there is no way you're going to, feel what it's like to be successful in a career. Because you will always be, getting opportunities, and before you're fully matured or developed, you hop onto another one. So it's going to be hard for you to become successful. I wonder if we have any comments from people that are watching. Then okay, so let's move on to the next item here. In the very beginning, you mentioned that you have a competitive nature, competitive spirit. Competition is good, right? We all need some competition here and there in order to get out of our comfort zones. So what do you think is the best kind of competition, especially for this topic to be relevant in order for someone to become successful career-wise? Is it competition? For example, this person, you're going to be working in a company, in a team, and there is always that feeling of wanting to do more, wanting to do better. Is the best kind of competition against yourself, or looking at what someone's doing and wanting to do more?
Okay, so I think the world is changing very fast. The world is changing very fast, and the kind of skills that young talents need to embrace to succeed in their careers going forward are changing and moving very fast. So we are in the world where those kind of skills, human skills, like problem solving, analytical skills, the thinking, the creatives, is what is so much in demand at the table. And if it's not there, people don't see the value of the person in the office. So with this, it means I'm seeing kind of a clear transition that is required. So competition, I don't know if you leave it as competition and one wanting to compete against the other. I would really take it, and my advice would be it has to be taken with a pinch of salt. Because it can also be counterproductive. No one wants a person in the team, like for example, in my team, I don't want somebody who is there always wanting to find a way to appear in a way that everybody else, if possible, has been pushed down, so that they're the ones who can show up. But I want this person who wants to shine, and I believe that's the right way of thinking. Wanting to shine, wanting to achieve, wanting to be the best, while at the same time wanting to support others to shine.
Absolutely.
Wanting to support others to also be their best. Because if I have one person in the team who succeeds very well, and the rest are not succeeding, actually it will not help. It will not help. Because at the end of the day, we have an agenda, we have a vision, we have a mission as an organization to meet. So, in terms of that, my view is to say that in whatever you're doing, always strive to be the best. Work towards being the best. Work to achieve the most. Put into use all of your personal potentials, your capabilities into it, and do your best. Don't fear to shine. Because it's sometimes a very thin line before you separate from being competitive and wanting to shine. You need to want to shine at all the time while you're helping others to shine. You need to want to shine because that also gives permission others to also shine. Because sometimes when only one person is shining so much, if there are really people who want to work in a team, then they might start shying away.
To pull back.
So shine knowing that I'm pulling everybody, I'm encouraging everybody, I'm adding value into them. If I can give them any input so that they will shine even better, I will do that. So that's how I would look at it. I don't know if it answers the question.
In a way, I think what I'm picking from you is that it's okay to want to shine, like as an individual, So that means it's okay to look at what other people are doing and do something better to shine, but it's also you working or competing against yourself, meaning you wanting to do best or better than what you did yesterday. So putting in your best every day, improving your skills, improving yourself, while also learning a few things from others in order for you to stand out and shine. So I think it's a little bit of a balance, like you said. There's a very thin line in between self-competition and competing with others.
Yeah.
You need to find the right balance so that it's not, it's not out of control.
Yeah, if I can add something, it's also not bad looking at the record that has been, established by others and working to kind of break the record and create another one.
Yes,
it's also good.
It's also
good. By doing that, it means you're pushing yourself.
Yeah, and
forward.
It means you're also opening the way for other people
Yes.
to also, want to take the same route, paving the way. That is very, very insightful. Let's now talk about risk taking. I think it's also another area or element or attribute someone needs to have in order to achieve career success at some point in their life. Do you have any moments in your life, in your career journey, where you took huge risks and that helped you? And what do you think is the role of risk taking in helping someone achieve career success?
Okay. Please allow me to start speaking about others before I speak about myself in terms of taking risks.
Yes.
Because I've not been quite good in terms of that personally, but I've been mentoring and coaching a number of people. In several instances, I've seen a need for somebody to take a huge risk for them to be able to achieve the career ambitions they want to achieve, which is quite attractive.
Yeah.
Like for example, I have had cases where somebody who had grown to a very senior rank in an organization, to the top executive,
yes,
in a specialized function. And then you have this person, and sometimes you see clear potential in them that they can actually make a very good MD of an organization, like a managing director, being the chief executive of an organization. And then you have this person who has been sitting in a specialized area. There's no way, if you've only been specialized in one area, you can become a good chief executive. So at this point in time, when somebody has grown, especially when they're very young, that's where I always see this potential. You have somebody at the early 30s, they're already an executive level. So most of the times in my mentorship sessions, I've actually advised they should step back from the executive level. Because when you want to move, for example, if somebody was a specialized person in human resources like myself, human capital management, or they were in marketing, in brand management, or they were in operations.
Yeah.
So I would usually recommend they need to go and do a business if they have capabilities to succeed in this area. And it means you cannot go into a new career choice and get to an executive level. You have to take maybe 2 levels lower to land the job before you go. And this is a huge risk because you're not sure 100% that you'll be able to make it back or not. But a number of times I've seen it working. And these are some of career choices that I consider necessary. And actually I've recommended it to more than 2 or 3 people I've been working with in
So it's about you. If I'm getting you right, this person was in an executive level, and the risk was for them to take a position a bit lower in order for them to learn a different business function, in order for them to become bigger than that run they were in before.
Yes.
Wow.
It means you're taking a risk, go a bit deep, so that you can then move higher.
Wow. So let's talk about this risk taking now. How would you advise someone to go about it if they're stuck in that situation?
My recommendation would be, it's good to also have, first of all, it's good to have a clear ambition, a clear vision in terms of what you want to achieve in your career. And after that, it's good to have the right mentors who have succeeded in the area you want to grow into, and then work in partnership with them, because they'll give you some of the hints in terms of what you've done now, what else do you need to go to where you want to go. So in my view, the best risk to be taken is a risk that you're taking, so that you're going down to be able to go higher. Not to just take it for the sake of wanting to move into a comfort zone. Moving into a comfort zone, sometimes somebody may choose to take a junior role because they think it's too much of a pressure there. They want to relax. I think that's not one of the things I would advise. But if you want to take a level lower, or even 2 levels lower, but it's because you are looking at a new skill area, meaning you're learning, that is still growth.
Yes,
growth is not only up the rank. If you're learning new skills, that is growth, and very, very important growth that you need, and then you go higher. So this is the kind of risk taking that I would recommend one to take.
It's a hard one, but I know you can do it. There are questions. Let's take them from our audience.
There is one question. Earlier we were talking about how not to get comfortable in your position at work. I think the question here is like, how best can somebody not get in their comfort zone at work and always perform their best?
Okay, so I think the key thing is to ensure that you have something new to learn. Like, for example, if one has done a role for some time and always they have new things they're learning, like I said, that is part of the growth. And it means when you're learning a new skill, a new set of skills, you're meeting a new expectation. It means you're not relaxing. You're not going into a comfort zone. So you sometimes it could be somebody in a certain level, probably the same level, the same grade, but you're always out in the loop to learn. And actually, and maybe something that I can add in here, if one chooses to go into a comfort zone and you relax, you don't aspire to ensure you're learning new skills. Actually, it means one is becoming obsolete slowly.
It's a dead zone.
So if one is in the same level, probably an opportunity has not availed itself for promotion or a change in role. Make sure you're learning something new. You're adding value in a different world.
Even with what you're doing, it might be the same level, same position, but you're always trying out new things, trying out new skills, new ways of doing, performing your tasks. That's also another way of growing.
If you have the right leader, you have the right manager, you have the right coaches, they can also be very helpful. Some of the people that anybody would like to work with in the team are the kind of people who would come out asking, what else can I do? What more can I do in addition to what I'm doing? Because if you're moving into a comfort zone, it means you're so comfortable in what you're doing. It means the work that you're doing, and probably the work that you're doing for 6 hours, you now can do in 1 hour.
Absolutely.
Make sure you fill these 4 hours by going, pushing the boundaries and picking something else and learning new things, and in that way you remain relevant.
Remain relevant, and you still keep growing. Nice. I hope we've answered your question. Do we have any other?
Yes, there's one more question here.
Maybe if you also know who's asking, would be great.
This question is from Maureen Rose, and she's asking, how can I find a mentor that fits me? I think we've just come from a really big Stanbic event the other day. So Maureen Rose is asking, how can I best find a mentor that fits me, or how can a mentor find me?
Leave your contacts.
Okay, so to get the right mentor that fits you, first of all, it starts with your own career ambitions, with your own visions. From your own vision, your own career ambition, then it's good to have a mentor who has succeeded in the direction you're taking. So that's the guide. Look at who inspires you in that direction, who has achieved what you want to achieve. That's the person who can help you as a mentor, can help you better, and will most likely be a good mentor for you. Of course, one of the skills, and we were speaking about it the other day, with empower our partners in several things, that you can also have more than one mentors at a time in different skill areas, and be very clear of what you want to pick in a relationship of, say, 6 months to 1 year. Be very clear with this mentor, this is what I want to pick, so that you put it clearly before them, and it's clear with yourself, because in this relationship, it's actually you who has to do a lot to be able to achieve your own dreams.
True. So just whoever that person is, look for them, try and speak to them. Can you please be my mentor? Here are the areas I want to grow in. So set clear your objectives and what you want to learn from them. That way you are able also to manage the relationship.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get there.
There is one more question here from Lightness, and she is asking, how do I get people to trust me in my youth when I want to either open up a business, or how do I make them take me seriously? Because right now, people don't take youth seriously. So Lightness
That's a
is
very
asking,
good question.
how can elderly people take youth seriously?
Okay, yeah. I like it when the word of trust comes into play, because it's really a key word, and I've seen elderly people complaining. Of course, a number of us are complaining that youth are not trustworthy.
Yeah, for good
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah,
Valid
unfortunately, for some reason. So what I would advise is, and what I would recommend, and what I believe works, I've seen it working, is that if you want to start a business, you want to do something, and you're looking for people to trust you in that space, because trust is not given, it's earned.
Yeah.
So what you need to do, start it. Start what you want to do. Start with whatever you have. Start wherever you are. Start in your own little way, in your own small way. And when you start, be consistent in what you want to do. Be committed, be determined to get it work.
Yeah.
And then people are interested in you when they see you so persistent in what you're trying to do, and you're really consistent with whatever you're trying to deliver. They will definitely be able to trust you.
They'll notice you, and
They will notice you, yes. And be when I say be committed to it and be consistent, everything should be working in sync, including your words. When you say this is what I'm going to do, make sure you do it, and you do it within time. People will trust you. People will trust you. And I think it's a culture that we can always challenge ourselves within, should I say, within the community, within the country.
Yeah.
I've seen many people doing businesses. I've seen people running shops.
Yeah.
I've seen people doing, little bites. But then you have a situation where somebody opens today at 6 in the morning, tomorrow they open at 10. You have, quality changing. Today it's like this, tomorrow it's like that.
Yeah.
I have somebody not opening a shop. One day I was talking to this person, and I said, do you know you've been in this shop for a long time, and we've there are things that we depend on you. So you don't open, you don't put any notice, you don't apologize.
Absolutely.
So some of little things like those.
Nice.
Get into it, be consistent.
Yeah.
Your word should be, your timing should be, your effectiveness should be there, and consistently. People will trust you.
Magic word, just start, and they'll trust you. So because we're running a bit short on time, so now Eutropia, we've talked a lot about competition and how to become successful. Now let's give youth who are watching right now tips of, what skills or attributes should they start learning early now in order for them to achieve that success that they all dream of? We all want to be successful career-wise. What things should we start doing, learning? What skills should we start practicing right now?
Actually, in the interest of time, I would make it brief. I would say learning. Learning is key. So be out and about, learn. If it means reading books, if it means being involved with people that do the things that you want to grow in, engaging, learning by speaking, and observing, learning is critical. And I'm saying learning is critical because what I've seen in the past about 10 years, things are changing too fast. Before you know it, things have changed. So people who are not learning, they easily become obsolete. Be ready to unlearn some of the skills. Actually, where we are today, most of the skills that brought us here are not the same skills that will take us where we're going. So be ready to unlearn some of the skills. Be ready to relearn new skills. Be ready to learn. Be ready to observe and see what is changing, and ensure that you are aware of what is changing, and you're embracing the skills that are keeping you relevant. If I'm to speak of one, and actually it's a gap for us here in Tanzania, most of us are not good at reading and learning. We specialize on certain things and want to stick to it. The world is changing so fast. If there's one thing I would say, people should learn and do more in terms of learning.
It's like the foundation of every other skill, I would say, every other skill would depend on how inquisitive you are to try to learn new things, to learn new ways of thinking, to learn new ways of managing your time. It's learning. Everything is learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you go through some of the information, like what we see in the World Economic Forum, you have some of the skills that are being projected to say these are some of the skills that would make you relevant in the next 20 years, in the next 25, 30 years. We should make sure that we are aware of all these. Today, what you'd see is most of the things that are usually done by human beings can easily be done by machines. I think what is left is those things that requires your mental capacity.
Absolutely.
Like what I say, problem solving, collaboration,
emotional intelligence.
Some of those things, soft skills and things that requires your brain. And you can only pick this if you're really learning, you're observing what is changing, and you're going along.
Absolutely.
And those are the kind of skills that people should embrace more. Collaboration, working in teams, innovation, ideation means you're on your toes with the brain at all the times.
Critical thinking, I would add that as well. Yeah, so really nice. I think we've had a really nice chat, Eutropia. I don't know if you have any final key message to the young people watching, young professionals that want to grow, become successful heads of departments or MDs, CEOs. This is the chance.
Okay, I think my piece of advice, and mainly from experience, is for people to be more flexible. We need flexibility because the world is changing, as I said, and sometimes the fate, like what I explained about myself, the fate means that you have to think, to look at things differently, be ready to do different things from what you initially thought. It's good to have your career ambition, it's good to have your vision, but once you have that broader picture, be ready to look at opportunities and embrace them. Don't stick and be rigid on whatever you wanted to do. And then two, I would recommend people, especially young chaps, graduates, young talent, to should I say, not to be in a hurry, because you have people starting whatever they're starting today. People cannot persevere with whatever they want to build to see it grow. You have somebody starting a business today, they've left it tomorrow. There's no way you can grow it if you do it that way. You start a role today, you want to change it tomorrow. Yeah, so it's important for people to not to be in a hurry. Not to be in a hurry also in terms of growing. People start their career today, they want to have a car like what Nancy has. Nancy probably has been, in the field for 20 years ahead of them. They want to be there tomorrow. Shortcuts. I've seen shortcuts actually.
It is the number one killing machine for millionaires today.
I've had heartbreaks a number of times where you have somebody very bright, and then somebody speaks to them in whatever language they're speaking to them. They come and steal. They don't know that is destroying their careers because they're looking for shortcuts to want things to happen tomorrow. I would also speak about you need to have a good level of contentment. A good level of contentment. Something that I've also seen, which is very sad for some time in experience, is that sometimes one may be in a role and they don't have a different opportunity as yet, or they have another opportunity that has shown and have gone their way, but they don't spend time to think of it, but they kind of are quick. They are quick to jump from whatever role they are doing because they are not contented. What I've seen in life from personal experience is a human being needs what they need. The need remains to be a need. The moment they have it, it's no longer a need. So somebody has a job today, they were really aspiring to have it. After 1 year, they don't want it, they want something else. After 2 years, they want something else, which may sometimes mean they want to grow. Which can be fine, but then please try and be contented with what you have, especially before another opportunity comes up. Or even when another opportunity comes up, don't jump into it. Be contented so that if you're running, if you're rushing from something, there's no way you can reflect and think properly about whatever you're moving to. So you can land. I've seen people landing in some points where it's so painful they've lost everything. It's
Mm.
because they
And
are
they
not
can't
content.
go back.
Yes,
Yeah.
because they are not content. So allow yourself to be content with what you have. I've seen people becoming impatient in their relationships, even at personal life.
Yeah.
Every day people want to change. They want to change boyfriend, they want to change girlfriend, they want to change job. You know, it's a need today. Once you have it, make sure you learn to appreciate it
Absolutely.
and have some level of contentment with it, so that you can build whatever you have, build
And
yourself
grow with
within
it.
it, grow with it, grow with the other person, grow with the team, grow with the business. And if you are going to change, then be sure that you're not changing because you're rushing out of this. You're contented with what you have, you're happy, and you're moving because you see it's relevant to move.
Yeah.
And you make a move, you will make a sensible move.
Yeah, and probably you have outgrown that situation.
Yes.
So you need more challenges, new ways.
Yeah.
So it's for the right reasons.
Mhm.
That is really
Yeah.
key.
So those are some of the,
Yeah.
I actually noted some of the things I wanted to give young chaps as an advice.
Yes.
Yeah, this is another very important, which the two are related.
Mm.
Don't blame. Don't blame anyone. Blaming is one of the things that is a killer by itself. It's detrimental. Never blame anyone. When things are not working, regardless who is a causative, leave the problem as theirs. Always look for what a difference can I make? What can I do differently? Never blame. Stop complaining. Don't complain about anything. Always, if it's dark, don't cry out. It's dark. It's dark. It's dark. You are
It's
helping
already
nobody.
dark.
You're not helping yourself.
Yeah.
Try, even it means if lighting a little candle. Try and do it. So don't complain. Don't blame. I've seen these things. They're killers. Yeah. So that's a piece of advice.
Wow. That final one was mic drop. Thank you so much, Eutropia. I don't know if you have any comments, final words, final comments to our speaker today. She's shared a lot of key and relevant information for us young people in order for us to learn quickly, to grow into higher levels of our career, to grow into higher levels of new ways, because growth or success is not just in financials or rank or status. Growth is also in skills, in knowledge, in capabilities, and in just a new way out of your comfort zone. So I think this was really nice, Eutropia. Thank you so much. I'm sure they've also enjoyed and learned a lot from us. We do this every Friday. We meet here to talk about different topics. So do not forget to come back to us on Friday, 3 p.m. A time like now. We usually go live or have a session going on YouTube. Visit our social media. We have a lot of information that's relevant to you as a young professional, as a job seeker, someone that wants to learn and grow in your career. Also, do not forget to visit our movement page on our website. There's a lot of interesting articles published by interesting writers and professionals, experts that know or are best at different things in their areas, and they're sharing their expert knowledge and skills. So you can go there, read, share, write, and grow. So thank you so much. We are signing out. We have nothing more to share with you. If you want to reach out to Eutropia, you can go visit her at Stanbic Bank or reach out to us and we will find a way to connect you with Eutropia. Thank you so much for having us. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.